Hi there and welcome to another lesson from Deptford Tutors. In this video we're going to go through 3 questions that are taken from a QTS Maths assessment paper. Now the QTS Maths assessment papers they are aimed at trainee teachers who want to get onto a Gcse to become a fully qualified teacher in the UK. So if you wish to follow along with the lesson, you can visit my website. I've uploaded the blank slides and I've also uploaded the answers as well. Keep in mind that there are only 3 questions in this video. If I get a good response, I will make more videos. So now let's get straight into it. Okay, let's have a look at question number 1. It says teachers organised activities for 3 classes of 24 pupils and 4 classes of 28 pupils. What was the total number of pupils involved? Now, how I would answer this question, I would read the question, and if there was any numbers in the question, I would start to write them down as I'm reading it. I'll show you what I mean. It says here, teachers organised activities for 3 classes of 24, 24 pupils and 4 classes of 28 pupils. Okay, now if we're doing 3 of something, 3 of 24, that means multiply. Yeah, they also tell us here that we need to work out the total number, so we're going to multiply these 2 numbers together and these 2 numbers together, and then we're going to add them. So let's do that now. So I'm going to do 24, let's start with this one first, times 3. Okay, so 3, I always use the column method as I find it minimizes errors. Anyway, 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1, 3 times 2 is 6, add 1 is 7. Then we've got 28 times 4. So 8 times 4 is 32, and 4 times 2 is 8, add 3 is 11. Okay, now we're going to take this answer here and this answer here, and we're going to add them together. So I'm going to do 112 add 72. So 2 add 2 is 4, 7 add 1 is 8, and 1 add nothing is 8. So you're going to end up with 184 pupils. That is how many pupils were involved in the activity that the teacher organised. Right, let's look at question number 2. All 30 pupils in a class took part in a sponsored spell to raise money for charity. So first things first, we know that there were 30 pupils. Let's underline that. The pupils were expected to get an average of 18 spellings correct each. Okay, so let's underline 18 spellings. The average amount of sponsorship money was 20p, right, for each correct spelling. How many pounds would the class expect to raise for charity? Now with this question, you start off, you ask yourself, what's the question asking me? They're saying we've got 30 pupils in the class and we expect, okay, that those children, because this is going to be an estimate, okay, we expect that each one of those children are going to get 18 spellings correct, right? So obviously we're going to do 30 times 18. So let's do that first of all, okay? Let's do 30 multiplied by 18, because remember this is just an estimate, because they're saying how many pounds would the class expect to raise, not how much do they make, but how much are we expecting them to make. And we're assuming that the average, okay, amount of correct spellings for 30 pupils will be 18. So let's do that. So 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay. Carry our 0 down. 1 times nothing is nothing, and 1 times 3 is 3. Add these together, I get 0, 4, and we get 5. Okay? So in total, so far, because that's not the complete answer, but so far we're going to have 540 correct spellings. Okay, make that a bit clearer. Okay, now we're saying we're going to get 540 correct spellings, right? And each one of those spellings is worth 20p. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to multiply 540 multiplied by 20p, or just put 20 for now. What I'm going to do is put our decimal point back in the correct place when I finish multiplying. You'll see what I mean. So let's just pretend that's 20 for now. So let's write it underneath here. 0 times, all of this is going to be 0. Yeah? The second line, that's going to be 0, that's going to be 8, and that's going to be 10. Okay? 0, 0, let me just scroll down just a little bit so you can see. 0, 8, 0, 1. Make that a bit clearer. Okay. Now, I'm pretty certain they're not going to raise £10,800. Okay? The key thing is this, to remember that this here, 20p, okay, you write it as 0.2, 0.20. Yeah? How many numbers are behind the decimal point? You can see that there's 2. So in our final answer, we have to include that. So I'm going to put a decimal point right here. So that tells me that indeed that's actually £108. So that's how much they actually raised. And get rid of that. So the final answer to the question, how many pounds would the class expect to raise for charity, is actually £108. Okay, if you're still watching this video, I would like you to subscribe to my page, and also if you could like the video as well, because it really helps to get the video exposure and get other people to see it as well. So if you think it's useful, please make sure you like the video. Let's do question number 3. As part of the numeracy work in a lesson, pupils were asked to stretch a spring to extend its length by 40%. So I know I'm going to extend something by 40%. Okay? Let's underline that as well. The original length of the spring was 45 centimeters. So I'm going to do 45 centimeters plus 40% of it. What should be the length of the extended spring? Give your answer in centimeters. Okay. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can answer this question. Right? Because a lot of the time with these mental arithmetic questions, there's more than one way to answer it. Okay? Okay. So let's do the first version. I'm going to take 40%, just like we did in our previous question. I'm going to do 40, and I'm going to multiply it by 45. Okay? So, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 4 is 20. Carry our 0 down because we finished with the units. We're going to do 4 times 0, which is 0, and 4 times 4, which is 16. Make sure you've got good place value, guys, because otherwise you'll just end up with errors. Adding up these values here, that's giving us 1800. Now, what you must understand, first of all, that 40% is the same as 0.40. Okay? Now, in our answer here, what they've said, we've got 1800. I don't know what's going out there. It's so busy with all that traffic. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this if you can hear horns in the background. Any case, we've got 1800. We need to put a decimal point behind two of the numbers here, just like it is in here. So that's actually going to be 18.00, which is just 18 centimeters. So I can tell you now that the length of the spring increased by 18 centimeters, but they're asking for the total length. So what we're just going to do is just going to do 18 plus 45. Okay, let me just scroll down just a tad bit there. 18 plus 45, that's going to be 13, and that's going to be 6. So that gave me 63 centimeters. There is another way to do it. Let me just write the answer in there, 63. There is another way to do it, and I'm going to show you. A bit more complicated, but for some people, if you're good with fractions, it might be useful for you. Just draw that line there, and just separate it there. Okay. They're telling us, okay, that we started off with 45 centimeters. So 45. And we're trying to find 1 2/5, right? It is so important, guys, that you learn what fractions are, okay, and how they relate to decimals, etc. I will be doing a lesson or a video on how to convert fractions to decimals, but I'm just showing you that there are different variations that you can adopt to try and solve these problems, okay? Now, whenever you're multiplying a whole number by a fraction, you always put the whole number over 1. Just makes life a bit easier. Yeah. Now, I don't like this fraction because it's a mixed number. I always like to convert my mixed numbers to top-heavy fractions, where the number in the numerator, which is a top number, is bigger than the number in the denominator. So let's go ahead and do that now. How I do it, I'm going to do 5 multiplied by 1, which is 5, and I'm going to add 2 to it. That's going, and I'm going to write my answer, my new answer of 7 in the numerator. And I'm going to keep my denominator the same. So I'm just going to bring that down here. It's the same fraction, I've just written it a different way. That's all I've done. Okay? So now I've got 45 over 1 multiplied by 7 over 5. Now, if you're good at cross cancelling, which I'm going to do a lesson on as well, you'll see what I do. We're going to cross cancel these values here. Okay? And I'm going to ask myself, can 5 go into 45? It can. It goes into it 9 times. So I'm going to cancel that down, and that's going to become 9. Can 5 go into itself? Yes, it can. It goes into itself once. So I now have a new fraction. I have 9 over 1 multiplied by 7 over 1. Okay? I'm just going to multiply these values here. 9 times 7 is 63. 1 times 1 is 1. That's just 63, which is the same as what we started, or what we ended up with when we did it our different way. Now, for some people, doing cross cancelling with fractions is a lot easier for them. Okay, I wanted to show you that because obviously everyone's going to be working at different levels when they start preparing for these QTS exams. Okay, so we're nearly at the end of the video. I just wanted to show you my website where I offer QTS Maths Tuition. If you feel that you need QTS Maths Tuition, you can get hold of me through the website. My link is in the description. My telephone number is on here as well. I offer one-to-one sessions, and I also offer online Skype sessions as well. If you need a one-off lesson, that's fine. Some people might need a few more lessons. So I have a package for each person. So have a look and see what you think. And finally, if you feel you just need to brush up on your GCSE maths, check out my video called Edexcel GCSE Maths Mark Set 2 2017 paper that I went through. It's had quite a lot of views, over 6,000 views so far as of the 16th of August 2017. I've had really good feedback from that. So have a look at that one as well. Thank you. I'll see you soon.